Hello, good afternoon and welcome back to my channel. Today, after a fast-forwarded cleaning of my car from snow, as we all know, it's quite a nice snow for the last couple of days, last few days I would say. Makes everything pretty around us. I've decided to cover the video about very important gadget. Gadget device, mobile phone holders for this car. As we know, there are not many options available for the nice build quality mobile phone holders for this car in particular, because we do know every other car has these vent exposures are sort of more even with the rest of the surface of the vehicle. However, here you have them slightly bit more ditched inside, and for that reason it's very hard to use any mount out there that would have a vertical use to it, like we all used to the mobile phone to be standing vertically in front of us. That is a little bit hard on these vehicles. However, back a few weeks ago, I decided to go on the internet and search for something compatible with my iPhone 12 Pro Max. And as we all know, I have it all here. As we all know, they are finally on the inbuilt magnets inside that holds really nicely with any magnet fitted holders out there. So my best thinking back then was maybe I just get one of these. Oops, I just swept this email off. I just get one of these. It will be nice to kind of hold it on together, and it would work perfectly. And I think it was a good hit back then when I first got it. I was very excited. You can nicely clip this thing onto this vent, ideally the second right grill element, very close to the clock, and then you just hop this phone on it, and as you can see, it is there, but it's very flimsy, if I may say that. Especially these, when you drive, it produces a lot of unnecessary noises and becomes irritating to some point. When you're standing still and you want to watch something, or I don't know, to talk to somebody on the video calls, etc., this works okay-ish. But when you're on the move, this thing is uncontrollable. And also this little sound is constantly there every time you drive on uneven roads. It did serve some sort of a purpose for a while for me, but then since I've discovered Magsafe on Apple's website, I got really sidetracked and wanted always to get my hands on it. So I decided to give it a go and to purchase the one from them. However, that tremendous 3 to 4 weeks lead time was something that always put me off, and I'm sure I'm not the only one out there who's been put off by that lead time. So after a bit of a thinking and struggling around the idea, I went and I still purchased it. Luckily for me, it arrived actually in 4 to 5 days, and what a surprise. And since it's with me, I'm using it every day I'm driving, and my God, not even a simple comparison to what that was. First and very importantly, the build quality is so good. This element bolt joint inside is very tight, quite tight enough so that it kind of holds itself together. Then the grill connector part is really tight as well. So if we do demonstrate this and remove this holder from here and fix this one instead, we have not even the comparison to that one. Once you push this in, it's a bit of a tension to be applied to go this one fully in. But when you see how firmly this sits in the place, it's just such a better device to have, especially for the car that fills 90+% of the road. And if we do click this back together, we see a beautiful, beautiful, firm connection to the battery. It doesn't move up and down, it doesn't jingle, it doesn't touch these dashboard elements, so therefore it doesn't produce the noise. And overall, yes, it is not the cheapest device out there that you can put in your car, but it's very well worth of its money. Now, it's been a bit of a dispute on internet how pro this device is, and if it does stand for its pro name. It does have pros and cons, pluses and minuses. Number one plus for this device, for me particularly, is that how firmly it sits on this difficult grill element and how well it holds the phone. Also very important, how well they're built, and no doubt, hands-on, they are really good build. In terms of cable management, you have, actually I should demonstrate this too, you have a little compartment on the back of it, not compartment but area where you can slip your cable around in case it's getting annoying and it's all over the place. However, I haven't been much bothered about it, and I should also mention a couple of words about this little Mophie USB-C charger that fits perfectly into my cigarette charging area. And the biggest complaint of everyone, and I should probably join the public on this one, it will be such a different thing if that would have a lightning connector port or USB-C port or anything of that kind that will also allow people to hop the telephone on there, and it does hold it together with charging it. I believe, in my opinion, at least that's only the minus thing to this. In the rest of its potential is a great thing to have. In my next episode, I will take you around the neighborhood and I will show you in this very rumbly car how well mobile phone sits on it and how well the actual holder holds itself on this grill. So do join me and let's see if the mobile phone falls off or any sort of incident happens in the times when we're using the holder with the mobile phone on it. So we're now testing this holder, and we will be going on a sort of little neighborhood roads around the neighborhood and see how the magnet holder performs. As you can see, it does have a little bit of a jingle. We are going on certain uneven roads. I'm coming to the traffic lights yet again. Yeah, I did test this device in all that time that I've been using it, and I have to say it's the best out of this category that you can find for your telephone. Again, it very much depends on the fact that you are using latest iPhone 12 line, because they are fitted with these inbuilt batteries. Of course, you can go for any other type of iPhone or any other device. Oh, we caught with the red light here. Any other type of an iPhone or any other device, as long as you kind of fit with the metal piece inside, that would give you this good traction with the battery. However, for the iPhones, is the fabulous thing to use. So in all this time I've been testing it, and I've been going on all sorts of roads, no issues whatsoever. I've been overly pleased with these. Happy to report that my experience, and I'm quite a heavy user, all this kind of stuff, gives a very pleasant experience and a very reliable device. Again, they are not the cheapest things out there, but they are doing what they're supposed to do. Again, the charging works quite nice. I'm using what I believe is 15-watt charger socket here, and it gives this nice boost, especially on your last percentages on the battery. Say you are plugging in with 10, 15, 20%, it gives this instant boost in a really short amount of time, which is very pleasant. And it's just this very same way that a genuine iPhone charger would work in this instance. What I would say about this one in comparison to the previous mount holder that I had, I have been using in the past, not even the comparison. I really put this aside. I paid what, 15-20 pounds for it. I wouldn't necessarily throw this away. There would be a lot of people out there who would be happy to have this, especially if I gave this one for free to them. However, while I have that one, it is never ever going to go back to this one, but that's for sure. Very important also to mention, this requires, especially on the charging front, this requires a very good battery, but very good, let's turn left here, very good, hang on, no, oh, I've been honked. This requires a very good, an original cable that should give that sort of charging powers and stuff, but I'm sure you're all aware of this out there. So you do feel we have a bit of unevenness on the roads. We have a bit of a little bit of a potholes even here. This is a little bit of a trouble here too. So as you can see from the reflection of the telephone, you do have a maximum grip, and this is an absolute pleasing point for me, so that the telephone neither falls off the magnet, no twists itself left or right. Say the magnet is there, but it slightly moves left or right, which I did have on the previous holder. This one has two pieces of one round magnet and one flat underneath that symmetrically holds itself together so beautifully. No complaint, no doubt about it. So yes, we did have a bit of rough roads. Let's go on a little bit of a further rough roads, and then we will be jumping on M25 on a motorway and testing it on sort of higher speeds, how it performs. I wouldn't say I would be overly happy to demonstrate how the Magsafe would perform on a speed humps, because I hate them. I genuinely hate them. I always have to wiggle my ways around it and try not to touch the bumpers. Underneath of the bumper is particularly vulnerable for these vehicles. The road clearance is so low. You do have to be quite careful with those. However, for the mounds of uneven roads and not very nice roads that this car can take, we can demonstrate enough how well this Magsafe holds together. In a bit we will be coming to M25. Actually no, we are gonna be heading to roundabout first, and then off Tharenth Valley we will be slipping on down to M25. So yes, overall, to sum this device up, extremely pleasing to have it. Yes guys, it puts off 3-4 weeks, no deny about that. I don't know why do they put that 3-4 weeks of lead time on it, possibly just to make sure to be on a super safe side. However, mine arrived in 4 or 5 days, even less. Couldn't hope any better. Okay. I must say these roads are pretty clean of the snow, so no danger whatsoever. If you do go into the little roads, you have a frozen snow on the surfaces, and gosh, you can't drive on them properly. You have to be on your absolute guard. And now we are coming slowly to M25. Couple words to mention about the mileage of this car. Now, mileage is my ongoing headache. As you know, you're allowed to the servicing bit of this of them is every cycle of 2 years or 12,500 miles. I don't know who's out there who's waiting for 2 years to do 12,500 miles. Definitely not me. But servicing is the mileage of this car is something quite big for me. Some people say, oh, you have a really little mileage, or when I went back to Maserati another day, oh, you have a big mileage for your age of the car. Let's be honest, this is a 66 plate. I believe they are September-October 2016 registration. I would not blame anyone who owns these vehicles and wants to drive them daily. Yes, on a field side is not the easiest one. Yes, on a service side it's not the easiest one. But how tempting is to be behind this wheel on a daily basis, and on those days when I'm not driving it, I can't wait to get behind it, because it's such an experience for me. It's such a joy to have, you know, to have smooth roads at the first instance. No deny, on the rough roads this is dreadful. Everything rattles, you know, you hear all sorts of movement noises of suspension and tires making noises and all of that. But when the roads are smooth, I had the pleasure a few months back for work to visit Holland, so what a joy. Not what a joy. And you would say, oh, it tires you up because it's not your super luxury 7 Series BMWs or S-Class Mercedes. Not at all. Not at all. I owned one of those 7 Series in the past. It was the beautiful drive to that one, but this car doesn't tire me up, even if I do 200 miles a day of driving with that. So yeah, this is all I wanted to share with you guys. Car mount is a no-brainer, 100%. Don't be intimidated by the lead times, go for it. It's a fabulous thing to have. Also, this car can only fit these holders in a horizontal version, as you have noticed, because vertically it's quite a jingle to possibly install them, a bit because of an architecture of this dashboard altogether. So yeah, stay tuned, like and subscribe if you wish, and I will be covering in my next videos some sort of a motorway drives. As I said in my previous video, also I will have a service drive to do also. I will cover that in my video too. So thanks for watching once again, and see you in the next one.